Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. It's Kadina. I have a guest today, Kadina. Actually, Kadina and I are collaborating and we are creating a program just for HR professionals. We'll tell you guys a little bit about that as we are putting it together. And when we finalize it, we'll tell you guys. But it's pretty much to help HR professionals to level up in their career and start earning high
Top
salary,
dollars.
top dollars, as we like to call it. So today's segment, as listed, is all about how you as a HR professional can level up and land high paying jobs. So today we're going to just stick to a segment, short segment. And if there's any questions, please type it in below in the chat box and we will answer them as we conclude these today's session. So please, if you have questions, please type them below in the comment section and we will answer them. So let's get started and let's talk about how to, your voice is echoing. If my voice is echoing,
I'll mute myself for now.
Okay. Okay, so did that help? Please let us know if it did. It might be just your computer, might be it. But let us know if it helped. Is there still an echo? Can never tell with these things. Okay, so going back to what the segment is all about, this segment is actually dedicated to HR professionals, not to say that this can't help other professionals, but we are dedicating this to our profession. We are also HR professionals as well. So we are dedicating this segment to the HR professionals to help you level up in your career to start earning top dollars. So your voice is echoing. Hey guys, it's fine on my end. Okay, so it seems to be fine on a lot of people's end. So this echoing might just be for that one individual. Okay, perfect. So let's start. Let's start the discussion on how to land a job, high paying job, not just any job. How HR professionals can land high paying jobs. We all know, sadly, HR profession is an underpaying profession. Tons of HR professionals are in undervalued and are in jobs that are paying them very less money. We've been there, Kadina's been there, I've been there. Luckily for us, we are no longer in those positions. Hence, we can talk about these things openly. Hence, we can actually educate and guide other HR professionals on what to do so that you can start earning more money, the money that you deserve. Let's face it, organization success depends on people, the people they hire. Who hires these people? Who makes sure that these people stay in the organization? Because all this is cost. Hiring is a cost, retention, turnover is a cost, retaining, that's where the retention comes in. Organization can benefit from retention of their employees. But who does all this? Who ensures all this is happening on a daily basis? Who ensures these infrastructures are built into organization so that they can attract and retain the best? Hence, you didn't see me use top talent. I don't believe in top talent. I believe in hiring the best for what you are trying to achieve. And the best does not necessarily mean the amount of degrees someone has, master's degree or credentials or certifications. The best is all about the brain. We all have the superpower that is unique to us, which is the brain. It is one of the tools that you as HR professionals can leverage on creating a market for yourself when it comes to getting paid top dollars. Now, going deeper into this, I was just listening to a podcast today and it made so much perfect sense. The only way to get high paying jobs is to create yourself to be non-replaceable. We hear this all the time that everybody can be replaceable. Well, guess what? Build yourself so that you're not replaceable. That's where the true value is to be not replaceable. And one of the biggest ways to do this is master your craft, whatever that is in HR. Don't be a generalist. Don't be a specialist or generalist. Be a master in your craft. Now, what is your craft? It took me a long time to figure that piece out as well. I had no choice because I became an entrepreneur. I had to figure out what is my expertise, what is my niche, and that's the best way to actually earn top dollars is figuring out your niche. What are you really good at? Your strengths. So your superpower. What is your one superpower in HR? If you're a journalist, which a lot of us are in HR because we're wearing multiple hats, and first place companies cut out is HR. They lean out the HR departments and then you end up wearing multiple hats. So ask yourself, what is your one superpower in HR? What is that one superpower you have in HR? And then master it. Craft,
Yeah.
like master that craft. Like it's no one's
Become that subject matter expert in that craft.
like
Exactly.
no one's business, and you are the go-to person for that craft. So X. Second, actually, before I move to second, Kadina, you want to add something to this? Mastering a craft?
I was going to say the exact same thing is what is your why, and pick that one thing that you're super good at and build on it and become better at it. So you become an asset to the organization, right? So they cannot do without you because you are a subject matter expert in that space within HR. So you're looked to for all of those things that they need. So build on that skill and enhance it. Whatever you can do to continue to grow and develop that skill, do it. Once you've found your one thing, you want to continue to expand and learn and grow in that so that anybody can come to you as a problem matter subject expert, right? So when there's a problem for this area, you've got the solution to it.
Yeah. Also, okay, let's go on to step two. Step two is build your brand. So many HR professionals are on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
It's 90% of HR professionals are on LinkedIn, especially if you do talent acquisition, you're on LinkedIn. Now, the biggest mistake I see HR professionals making on LinkedIn is that they are using it to promote the company. They're using it to just have like a placeholder that they have LinkedIn so they can use other things on LinkedIn. And that's like the biggest mistake I see tons of HR professionals making, is actually not using LinkedIn profile as their own. You're not owning your LinkedIn profile. And then on top of that, you're not building your brand using it. Also, I see tons of HR professionals are not voicing on LinkedIn, meaning you're not posting anything. You don't seem to have opinion. You're not sharing your expertise on LinkedIn. So build your personal brand. If you're on LinkedIn, LinkedIn's the best tool. I've seen so much success personally myself using LinkedIn. I've been using it for many, many years. I love LinkedIn. But the
I agree.
biggest mistake I see HR professionals making is not leveraging LinkedIn to build personal brand. Now, building a personal brand, again, once you know what your superpower is and what are you an expert in, your master your craft, then you know exactly how to build your LinkedIn profile. A lot of HR professionals tend to have very generic looking LinkedIn profiles where you're too busy talking about HR generically. You love people, you love helping organization, again, generic fluff stuff. Or just advertising the organization they work for, and then your entire LinkedIn profile becomes your employer's profile. I work for this company, and this is why this company is great. So you are just focusing on the current employer you're working for. Now, employers.
If I can just add to that, Gurpreet, just before you kind of jump to the next, I think the other piece that HR professionals are missing is only coming on LinkedIn when there's a need for them. So when I need to check out a certain industry or a certain market, or I'm hiring for this position, do you know what I mean? You need to be more active on this platform and build relationships with it so that when you do speak on something, you are viewed as, oh, okay, I want to hear what Gurpreet has to say, or I want to hear what Kadeen has to say, or Michelle has to say today, because you're constantly on the platform. And like Gurpreet said, you're building that personal brand, right? So you're not just a brand of the organization, but you're also your own brand. sharing, liking, and building content, right, on the platform. So sorry.
No, great point. Like your LinkedIn profile is you. It shouldn't be your employer. Your employer has their own company page, and that's where their content should come, and share it. But your LinkedIn profile should be personable, and it should be you, and make it human. Stop, like a lot of people use the about section to be very fluff and generic. And you gotta really focus on what makes you you, what's your story, and what are you good at. Like when it comes to HR, a lot of people tend to focus on, again, the current trend. So you see people using keywords like, for example, the last few months, it's all been about Black Lives Matter, diversity, right? So we're seeing all these trends. We've been seeing the trends for many years, right? So right now it's all about diversity, inclusion, and Black Lives Matter. But here's a typical mistake I see HR professionals making, is getting lost in the noise. So if it's diversity, okay, let me hop onto this bandwagon and keep talking about diversity. If diversity is not your strong suit, don't claim it. Don't claim it, right? Last year, I think it was all about culture, employer branding. And I saw so many HR professionals using those keywords. Stop jumping on trends and create your own trend. Like I created my own trend, HR superhero. So yeah, HR is very generic, but again, you gotta create your own trend in the field. Be a trendsetter. Don't be a trend follower, but be a trendsetter. And that's where personal branding will really come in handy. And that's how you can build your brand. And that's how you can now start getting more money. Stronger you build your personal brand, the more money you can make. And this advice actually, it goes across the board for any career professionals out there that want to make more money in your career. The best way to do is leverage personal branding. It's the best tool available right now for anyone out there to build a successful career and earn top dollars. And definitely.
The other thing too, Gurpreet, is we spoke about this last week, is your business mindset, right? Yeah. Having a strong, solid business mindset and building on that too. We've got a question. Totally makes sense, because once you're for the business and can solve their problem, every business has a problem that they need resolved or solved, right? So you need to be that solution, that nugget to solving that problem. So building your business mindset is also a great way to build your brand. And leadership skills. If you can show that you're a good leader, that you take initiative and can take action, also another good trait to have as well.
So third step is you gotta be a business-minded person. And this goes right into what this individual is saying. Sorry, I don't know your name. Agree, adopt an entrepreneur mindset. Traditionally, HR professionals has a bad rep. Let's face it, HR has a bad rep. People don't like HR. Executives don't like HR. Managers don't like HR. 90% of people in the organizations don't like HR. They're afraid to go talk to HR. We're seen like this enemy or this bad guy, that we're just out there to terminate people.
I was going to say, yeah, hire and fire seems to be, and pay people.
Yeah, when I used to see HR, even people say, oh, you hire and fire people. Even in the company, you just hire and fire people. And it's like, oh my God, that's like not terminating. Like probably 2% of my job. And hiring depends on the hiring need, but everything in between is what I'm doing. Again, HR tends to have a bad rep. So if you really want to elevate your HR career, I think you need to start branding internally with your employees as well. So build that brand internally as well. Secondly, you need to be business-minded to work with the executives. So if you want to earn more money in your career in HR, you have to be business savvy. You have to understand how businesses are run. Once you know how businesses are run, then you can help the decision makers make decisions, align talent to the business goals, retain talent to the business goals, and then build organization culture and HR infrastructure to sustain those goals, and then which leads to profits, because HR is a cost saving function. If companies don't have the right best talent to help them make money, it all comes down to the money, help them make money, help them make profits.
Help them solve their problems. The other thing too, Gurpreet, is getting to know the business too, right? Spend the time getting to know the business.
Yeah.
So whether you're in a corporation that has, marketing, sales, finance, get to know each of those functions and know them well and know what their pain points are. So when a problem arises, you're quick and able to resolve these issues, and also that they feel confident in your ability to lead them the right way to solve the solutions to their problems.
Also, when you look, going back to the business goals, when you know what business goals are and what the business is trying to achieve, now you as an expert people, you can now come back to your desk and ask yourself, well, do we have those people working for our organizations that can meet those business goals, can hit those business goals? Because if you don't have the right set skills of people working for you in your organization, how is the business going to hit those goals? How is the business going to make profit? This is where we come in. This is the most crucial part of HR, is helping businesses achieve their goals. They can't achieve goals if they don't have the right people working for them in the organization. That is the biggest thing we bring to the table. One of the biggest things we bring to the table is hiring talent. And now if you don't
Hiring the right talent.
if you don't, which you were doing as a talent acquisition specialist. So now
Exactly.
if you don't understand what the bigger picture of the business is, what is the goal, how are you supposed to align these talent? How are you supposed to find this talent? Or how are you supposed to build strategies around attracting that? You can't have a strong employer brand if you don't know what you're trying to attract. Again, going back to strategies, right? Everything comes back to people, the people you hire and the people you retain. So that is your biggest selling feature, depending on what area of your HR expertise are, is you need to, again, I heavily believe in having a business mind in order to be very successful in your HR career, because HR is always seen as people who don't understand the business. If you can understand the business, you can learn the business. Now, spend some time out on the floor. Spend some time learning each department, learning each position. That's what I used to do. And that's how you add value to your current company and future companies that you want to work for. If you do not spend time out on the floor and you're too busy spending your time, well, actually now I get it. Pandemic, you can't spend time on the floor. So if you're in the office, spend time on the floor. If you are virtual because of pandemic, start spending time. So you can still spend time with each department.
I was just about to say, even virtually, you can do pulse checks, have conversations with your employees, random just check-ins, right? It can still be done even on a virtual basis. Let employees know that you care about them and that you haven't forgotten them, because you're now virtual.
I think you need to go deeper than doing pulse checks. If you don't understand how businesses run in your current organization and how every single person's job role adds to the business goal, then that's where you got to start, because too many HR people are policy driven. So it just depends on what level you are right now when it comes to business. Do a check right now. Every HR person that's on this live with us or is watching this in the future, ask yourself, if you're working right now, do you actually understand how your current organization make money? If you don't, then you need to start there. How does the organization make money? Because I'm sorry to say this, in the end of the day, every business is in the business to make money, and it all comes down to money.
Yeah,
Kadena, you want to add anything there?
No, I agree. I absolutely agree with you. Know the business, know what their pain points are, know how they make money, and also do an assessment too to see, especially now in this time, what I'm finding is a lot of organizations are kind of figuring out, okay, now we're in this pandemic. What are we going to do with our internal employees? Do we have enough internal employees in order to move the business forward with this new norm? And if we don't, what kind of talent do we need to inject into the organization in order to push our business needs and successes forward, right? So definitely spend time to get to know the business, figure out what's going on in there. The current employees, do they actually meet the needs of the business in order to ensure that you're continuing on that path to make money? Or do you need to inject new talent into the organization to meet these new current business needs?
Also, succession planning. Which current talent in your organization can be developed for future roles? And that's also where a lot of organizations miss the mark on, is not identifying the talent in-house that they can build for future leader roles, like future leaders. How many people in your organization can you build to be future leaders in your organization? So that is another area that you need to cover. So to summarize, these are some top 3-4 tips in how you can land high-paying HR jobs. You can't land, in my opinion, professional opinion, and as somebody that works with executive C-levels, as I run my own HR consulting business, you will not get access to the table that every HR person desires, to sit the seat on the table. You won't get it if you don't understand business. You may get it because you are a crybaby, and this is what I see a lot of HR people doing, is crying about getting the seat on the table. Don't you want to be invited instead of just being handed a seat on the table because because HR people are crying about getting the seat on the table? Don't ask for the seat, get invited. And when you're invited, add value. There's no point of getting a seat on the table if you can't add value to the business. And adding value isn't, oh, we can't do this. No, because the law says this. If you're going in and just saying no, 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 guess what? You're the pain. You're that one person in the meeting that nobody wants you to have in the meeting. Like, picture that meeting where you have there's one annoying person in the meeting that will always object to something. I'm pretty sure we all been there, where we know there's one person that will always object. You don't want to be that person. If you got the start adding value to the organization if you're gonna get the seat on the table. Kadina?
I agree. Absolutely. You don't want to be that person that's kind of like the Debbie Downer. So, and I agree. If you're going to get at the table, make sure that you have something of value to add and not always a negative or policy driven, or I don't think we can do that. Find a way to speak up, but to make sure what you're speaking is of value to the business so they're moving forward in the right direction.
Okay, so I like this question. I like that advice. If you're super good at few, what should you do? So you can be good at multiple things, but what's your superpower? We have one superpower and we have many super good things. Pick one superpower. You know, superhero, they have one superpower. They don't have multiple superpower. Hence, there's all these other superheroes, right? One person has this power, the next person has that power. They all have different powers. So what's your power? We are all HR professionals that we're good in a lot of things, but we are a master in one thing.
Figure out that one thing, and like Gurpreet said, excel at it. Figure out that one thing that you can do with your eyes closed, that you're passionate about, that kind of, lights the fire inside of you when you're doing that task or when you're, working on that project. What is that one thing?
And lastly, the advice I wanted to give is think outside the box for a second. That superpower or branding, I want you to create a niche, right? Do something that no one's doing. A lot of people are chasing designations and all of that stuff. Think of something that you can create for yourself. Create that niche market. For example, I had an IT degree, IT management degree. It was a business degree, but the program is all about how to leverage IT in the business world. Few of my jobs, like my first couple of jobs, I was put in IT, like rolling out an HRS system because of my IT skills. So I used to get picked. Then I started incorporating that as my brand. Back then, we didn't have branding as much as how it's a big thing now. But then I started incorporating that as my position. I'm more than HR. I'm tech savvy. I can do this in technology. I can do this, right? So I started building my resume around IT, leveraging my IT expertise, meaning like I have a degree, a 4-year program. So I started creating a demand or a niche for myself, and it was a good time to do that. It's still a good time to do that. It was because I started getting jobs because of that. Companies were flat out would even told me, we're hiring you because you have this IT degree and we have the system that we need to roll out. So create your own demand, get creative. Now, a lot of people are running after designations. Designations are not going to help you level up. But if you create that niche for yourself, your own little niche, by leveraging something outside of HR, it could be technology, it can be branding, it could be you're good in marketing, it could be you're good in project management, right? Go finance, go start leveraging things outside of HR. And this is where the biggest fallback in all these HR designations is they're not telling you how to become niche or unique. Is they're trying to get everyone to be HR and have this umbrella, but your biggest asset in developing your career further will be to get those business skills or technology skills. The biggest demand right now is data analysis, right? So create that as your niche. If you're good at data, just because you're in HR doesn't mean you can't be good with data, right? So create your own niche. Figure out what you're good at, but then also start looking at niches outside of HR that you can leverage and bring in. And that's your unique value prop. That's your unique definition, your unique brand. Your superpower isn't just HR. We are individuals that have multiple talent. Look at one talent that you have that's outside of HR. That's something I'm speaking from personal experience of 15 plus years of HR experience. Is one of the things I've leveraged was my IT degree, and I'm very tech savvy. Kadina. Oh, you're muted.
Up in there.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, here I am. For me, it was more my communication skills and my relationship building. I tapped into that because I would always be told that, oh, Kadeen, ask Kadeen about this employee or this function because, like you, I spent time with the function. I spent time with the employees to know what their pain points were. So I was always on top of things. And whenever there was a business need, I'm like, okay, I know why we're hiring for this position, and I know what the type of talent that we need to inject, right? So both communication skills and relationship building skills. And those are soft skills. So those are easy to attain and to achieve, right? But that's what I think made me the most successful in my roles, was the fact that I had an opportunity and the right questions to ask as well, and that I spent time with the business and getting to know them as an individual and what the right talent would be to join their team or their function.
Yeah. Okay, let's take some questions. It's been close to 30 minutes of us talking. So now we're gonna open up the floor for anyone who has any questions for us on how to land high-paying HR jobs or how to grow your HR career. Hi, non-HR professional. I want to know how to get an HR career without any prior experience. My piece of advice first would be, why do you want to go into HR?
And HR is huge too. You can't just say, I want to get into HR. Do you want to get into payroll, benefits, coordination, admin, analytical, like recruitment? There's so many different facets of HR, right? So what part do you want to get into? And like Gurpreet said, and why?
Yeah, identify your why first. Why do you want to be in HR? I would do some homework and research here. Just don't say generic, I like people. Okay, but then there's tons of roles out there that deal with people, right? Every role directly or indirectly will deal with people. So dig deeper than that, just saying I want to help people or I'm a people person. HR is more than people person, and it's more than helping people. Actually, you help the business. Hence what I keep saying, you got to develop a business mind. Thank you, ladies, to give us direction. You are welcome. Also, while we're taking questions, this Thursday, we're hosting another HR mentoring session. So if you want to be part of it, it starts at 7 p.m. It's only for HR professionals. It's not for anybody else. You can sign in. sign up for that. I will drop a link shortly into the chat. You can sign up for that. And it's a private session held on Zoom by me and Candina. Okay, so the majority of HR jobs postings are generic with multiple responsibilities, HR generalist or coordinator. Would hiring managers for those positions be open to hiring someone with single superpower? Biggest mistake is to look for jobs online. When you want to land a high paying job, so everything we were talking about, not sure if you joined this discussion late, but everything we're talking about isn't about sitting on a computer and applying to jobs online. What we're trying to tell you is you got to create your own demand and create your personal brand and figure out what's your unique superpower, your superpower. Create the demand. People can come to you for jobs. You don't, in today's day and age, nobody needs to search, go chasing jobs or search for any jobs.
If you're certain about your why, right? I agree with you, but you have to be certain about your why, what your superpower is, and what value you add. So what problem can you solve? So if you're not sure about that, then maybe you're someone that needs to sit in front of the computer and just kind of do your research and figure out what jobs are out there and what attracts me, right? Sorry, Gurpreet, I just wanted to interrupt there because I'm like, I agree with you, but at the same time, you've got to figure out who you are as an individual. And that's where I think self-awareness and self-assessments come into play hugely. Do that first.
You
before
need to
you start.
That's exactly what we've been talking about, right? Like, you can't build your brand if you don't know your why. If you don't know who you are, what you bring to the table, what's so unique about you, going back to superpower, yeah, you can't land. No one's gonna land high demand, like high paying jobs if you don't know your why. Everyone that's in six figures and above, like getting more than six figures, those people know their why. They know what their expertise are, what their subject matter expertise, what's one or two things that they're really good at, right? And that's why they're getting those big bucks. And anyone
they're in demand. They made a demand for themselves.
Yeah. And you can create that demand, but you can't create it, as Candina said, you can't do it until you know your why. And then you're going to be stuck looking for jobs and chasing jobs. And then you get stuck with generic job postings, because that's what happens with job postings, by the way, which is only 20% of available jobs. Yeah, the job postings will be generic, because sometimes hiring managers don't even have a clue what they're looking for. So they kind of make a generic general job description. She's like, let's just get this, and then when the person's there, and then they can kind of hound their own way and create the job role.
Exactly. It's like a wish list. It's like, this is what we'd like to have. Can they check all these boxes if they're not? But exactly that. They put what they think they want. Sometimes they don't even know what they're looking for. So building relationships, especially leveraging the platform, awesome.
Okay, so that's a great idea. Great. Thanks for sharing insights. You guys are welcome. Okay, so if you guys have any more questions, we'll stick around for another few minutes to answer any questions you guys may have. Please sign up if you want to get mentored by us. It's a free session this Thursday. Feel free to sign up. Let me drop the link in the chat. It is on Zoom, and you do have to register to get the Zoom link. So I will be dropping that in about a minute. Anything you want to add while we're waiting for some questions to come in, Candina?
Honestly, I think the main thing is the couple key points: the business mindset or entrepreneurial mindset, building relationships, effective communication, building your personal brand. Those are all key things that will attribute to your personal brand. So figure out your why. What is your one thing that you want to be known for, that you want to be that subject matter expert for, the problem that you can solve, the value that you can add? Once you know all of those things and being self-aware with what that is, the sky's the limit for you. But it's when you're uncertain and you're kind of flip-flopping between one thing or the other thing that your brand becomes wishy-washy and people don't know, okay, what do you do or what can you do for me, right? And like Gurpreet said, there's an 80-20 rule with the job market. So a lot of it is who you know and what value can you bring to the table. So spend time getting to know people, asking them, especially if you don't know what you want in terms of HR. Talk to an HR generalist, talk to an HR payroll person, pension, communications, anybody that's within HR, talk to them about their role. How did they get there? What would they recommend? and find out kind of like the pain points of it, the successful and the pain points, right? To see if that's something that you even want to get into. Because there's so many different facets of HR. You want to make sure that you find the right one for you that matches your skills and your values.
Great points. Yep. Okay, so if you have any questions, please feel free to type them below in the comment section and we will answer them. I know there's a little bit of a delay from StreamYard to LinkedIn, I think on Facebook as well. So
the other thing I was going to mention is if you're watching the replay, feel free to reach out to either Gurpreet or myself. If you weren't here to actually get a question answered live, you can reach out to either one of us on LinkedIn. Just DM.
Yeah, and feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn as well. You can send us a connection request. More than happy. I accept anybody as long as you live in Canada and US.
Same here. Same here.
Not to be rude, but I do not accept anybody outside of US and Canada. Just I gotta keep an eye. Being in HR, I still have to keep an eye on my connection requests because I need them. I don't want to max them out.
Agreed. Same here.
Okay, so it doesn't look like we have any questions coming in.
No questions?
Guys, thank you for tuning in. We'll conclude our session right here. If you like this, do show us some love. Once again, we are conducting HR mentoring session for free this Thursday. Our last session last Thursday went about 2.5 hours.
2 hours, yeah, 2.5 hours.
It was a great session, met so many great people, and they also got a lot of value out of it. Also, you know, when an opportunity is thrown at you, is given and is presented, take it. So many people signed up for our last mentoring session, and we had like 60 people signed up, but only 10 people showed up. So, you know, when someone's throwing you a lifeline, take it, jump on it.
Especially now, with the way the job market is, especially now. We're offering you free advice, free service. I would utilize it if I were you. A lot of benefits and values.
Question. Go ahead. Adiwa. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name correct.
I can't
Please
see
type
it.
your question. So we're just waiting. Someone said they have a question. So yes, this Thursday we are hosting another HR mentoring session. You can attend this even if you attended it last week. You can still continue attending these sessions. We are planning to continue on every Thursday for now. So just type it in.
You dropped the link, right?
Yeah, I dropped the link. So guys, this segment is only for HR professionals. So HR professionals, if you have a question, this is not a job search segment. So we're not going to answer any job search questions, but HR professionals, if you have a question about how to grow your career, how you can land high paying jobs, drop your questions below. Is it possible to get a job from another country without a referral? I don't know. I don't specialize in foreign workers. I've never assisted a foreign worker coming into Canada. Candine?
I have. It's possible, but it's tough. It's not the easiest thing to do. So it comes back to building your brand here too, right? Especially if you're a newcomer, you want to start building your brand in the job market that you're entering. So whether it be US or Canada.
I think she's not She's asking I don't think is it possible to get a job from another country? I don't think she's a newcomer. I think she lives in a different country trying to get a job in another country.
Okay. Find a way to build that brand in that area.
I'm going to go with build your brand. But keep in mind, a lot of people work with an immigration consultant. I'm not an expert in this field. I don't know how you can get jobs from one country to another. I think you need to network with people who have.
I was just about to suggest that. I think networking on the platform with individuals that are, I guess, in your field or in your industry in that country that you're looking to get into. I would start there at least.
Also, not every country can hire foreign workers. You have to, again, this is where like having a conversation with an immigration consultant will come in handy, or tune into or follow immigration consultants of countries you're trying to get into, because those guys are the best people to tell you advice on, what is a shortage of skills, because it comes down to shortage of skills. And that's how when companies can sponsor like a foreign worker to come fill that gap, right? So you're gonna have to, your best bet is to leverage immigration consultants, start looking at immigration consultant, also look at people that have moved from one country to another country from your field. Those are also the best people to talk to. But I'm not I can't give advice on this.
No, I'm not either. That's not my area of expertise, but
I've never left Canada.
put it out there too, though. You know what? Leverage the LinkedIn platform. Put it out there and ask and see if anybody on the platform knows that can help you. Ask the question.
So we're going to conclude this session here. I dropped the link to our Thursday session, which is HR mentoring. Sign up. And we're going to conclude it here. We're happy to mentor as any HR professionals who want help from us. Come see us on Thursday. It's a Zoom. It's a private, safe zone for all HR professionals to come get mentored or have an open discussion. That's what we were doing. We kind of did a round table. We had open free discussions about certain topics in HR and definitely like how to leverage certain things to grow your HR career. We also helped someone with 20 plus years of experience figure out their niche and leverage it. And this person was having challenges because of age and senior and X, Y, and Z. So anything is possible in these sessions.
I agree. It's awesome just to be able to have, sorry, Gurpreet, I keep interrupting you, but I'm just thinking back to the session last week. It's like you said, it's a safe place where you can be vulnerable as an HR professional and share whatever challenges you're having, or just to get insights, different insights and perspective on things.
Exactly. So join us this Thursday for a free mentoring session from Kadina and myself. We're hosting it. All HR professionals of all levels are welcome to join, and we'll see you guys on Thursday. So until then, keep safe and have fun with your career. Bye.
Bye.